Welcome back, everyone. This is part 2 of 0.3. We're going to be talking a little bit more about English 10, how it's going to run this year, how you can keep track of your deadlines and keep yourself organized. And our objective is that we'll be able to define Modern Classroom and how English 10 is going to run this year. So one way you can keep yourself organized and keep track of the lessons and the deadlines in this class is going to be the calendar that is on the front of your packet. So every packet will have a calendar with all of the lessons for the unit, and you're going to see the target deadlines listed throughout the month. So this is helpful to have you keep yourself organized so you know when deadlines are coming up. We'll also list out things happening in class like our FastBridge test, when our summatives are due, and when we're going to start our next unit. We also use an objectives calendar on the inside of the packet. This also lists out each lesson and the target deadline, but what some students really like in here is this checklist of each part that you need to finish for that lesson. So I know some students in the past have really liked physically crossing things off or checking things off on this objectives calendar in order to help keep themselves organized. So now we need to talk about must-dos, should-dos, and aspire-to-dos. You might have heard these words already, but let's talk about what they mean in this class. Anything labeled must-do is something that you have to complete before you can take your mastery check. So the must-do is the only activity that you technically have to do. And if you only do the must-dos, you're going to get 4 out of 5 points on that lesson. We also have activities called should-dos. You should do the should-dos. They're good practice, they're good extension. It's really helpful for you to get that extra practice work. And if you do your should-dos, you'll get 5 out of 5 points on that lesson. We also have things called aspire-to-dos, which is just kind of like an extra step, an extra extension. And if you do your aspire-to-dos in the packet, you will get bonus points. So if you do your must-do, your should-do, and your aspire-to-do, that'll be 6 out of 5 points on that lesson. So sometimes I have students that get 40 out of 30 points on their packet, and that's because they did all of their aspire-to-dos throughout the unit. You'll also see these helpful little icons in the packet. So a must-do, remember, you have to do that before you take your mastery check. Should-do, you should do it. And aspire-to-do, that's your bonus extension activity. So how are grades going to work in English 10? The more activities you complete, the higher your grade, like you just saw in our last slide. The mastery checks and packets are all formative grades, which are worth 30% of your overall grade, and summative assessments are going to be worth 70% of your overall grade. Remember, you're only eligible to take the summative if you have shown mastery or passed all of your mastery checks by the hard deadline. So these formative assignments like mastery checks and packet, they're very important in preparing us to be successful on our summative. We also have a 50% rule, meaning if you do not get to take the summative, you don't meet the deadline, you will automatically get a 50% on that summative. We've already gone through some of our English 10 expectations. I'm going to go through each one of these individually and show you some examples of what these expectations look like. Expectation number 1 is treat yourself and others with kindness and respect. An example of that, if someone's having a bad day, give them space, give them support, speak kindly to yourself and to your classmates. Expectation number 2, hold yourself accountable for the work. An example of holding yourself accountable is writing your target deadlines in your planner and taking your mastery checks by those deadlines. Expectation number 3, keep your distractions away. Make sure your phone is silenced in your backpack during class time so that you can focus on your schoolwork and get your work done. Expectation number 4, if you have questions in this class, please ask me. Come to English 10 HLL on Mondays during 5B if you want to ask some more questions about class or get support on your work. If you cause a problem in class, that's okay, just fix it. If you spill your water bottle, then you dry it with paper towels. That's how we're going to operate in English. All right, So you should have all of those expectations filled in your packet. We have a plan for deadlines, grades, how to get help, and what expectations we're going to follow so that all students can be successful in English 10.